Seeing as how we just had Valentine's Day, we thought it would be appropriate to share our unique story of how we started dating. If you are in a neurodiverse relationship, you might see some similar patterns as to how your partner responds. Hope you'll stick around to hear our story. And remember to ask us questions, send them to libandsteve@gmail.com. Hi, I'm Steve.
And I'm Lib.
And together we're Lib and Steve.
So, it was the fall of 1983 at UW-Oshkosh, Wisconsin, and I was a junior, Steve was a sophomore. It was the first day of classes, and I was trying to find my new Spanish class, which was the first class of the day, 8 o'clock in the morning. It was in the basement of the nursing building, and I was late finding it. I was the last person to class, and the chairs were all formed into a big circle, and every chair was taken except one. I knew it was for me, but being the insecure person I was back then, I asked the guy sitting to the right of the chair, "Is this seat taken?" I didn't know that the guy who answered back saying no was to become my husband. But what I did know is that I heard a voice shoot through my thoughts that said, "You're gonna marry this guy." What? I inwardly shook the voice off, but it really stayed in my thoughts.
First week of school, Thursday evening, Campus Crusades, first meeting of the school year. Everybody's excited, see old friends, talk about the summer, see the new people who are there, introduce ourselves. And I recognized that redhead. I think I saw her running around campus. Oh yeah, she's also in my Spanish class. How cool is that? Well, as things go on, probably about 6 weeks into the semester, the girls' Bible study decides to have a mystery date with one of the guys' Bible studies. So all week long, our mystery date left notes on the door as hints to who they were to try to figure it out. So I was in charge of the prayer cards for Campus Crusade. So I read the prayer cards and I tried to compare handwriting so I could try to figure out who it was who had picked me for their date. Well, I thought I had figured out who it was, and I wasn't at all really excited because I wanted that redhead to have picked me. But I figured it wasn't her, so I was pretty bummed all week.
And in Spanish class, I was picking up the vibes that he was bummed. And so then I was bummed because I thought he knew it was me. And so it was a pretty dismal week for us.
So we get to Saturday, and it happened to be homecoming week. And some of the people from Campus Crusade, we got a co-ed volleyball team together. And we actually were pretty good. We kept winning our matches. And it got to the point where I'm looking, it's like, wow, I don't really want to go on this mystery date. And if we make it to the championship game, we'll actually have to maybe like miss the date or put it back altogether, put it off altogether. So we got to the quarterfinal game, and the girls literally stood on the court and just watched the ball bounce. They literally threw the game.
Because did we mention that all of the girls involved in leaving the mysterious notes were on the volleyball team? So we just needed to get this mystery date going that night. We actually just needed to stop the game.
Amazing.
So we led the guys blindfolded, holding onto a rope, to a house off campus where one of the girls lived, with our spaghetti dinner simmering away. We ate dinner, and then we had the guys go around and say who they thought picked them. Steve was completely clueless because the girl he thought picked him was not even there. And there was a guy there that thought I had picked him, but I hadn't. So the guys were really confused. So eventually, us girls told all. I was so nervous to reveal myself, but Steve was so happy when he heard that I picked him. And so it all began.
So this whole thing was an ask-me dating dream. I didn't have to initiate, I didn't have to step out, I didn't have to take a risk. I literally just had to show up and go on a date. And the rest is history.
So as time went on, I looked back and I realized that there was a pattern of no initiation on Steve's part. In fact, he never really did a proposal to ask me to marry him. We just sort of chatted about getting married, and one day he pulled over into a dog training parking lot and gave me a ring. No words needed. Done.
So Lib, over the years, as time passed, how did this lack of initiation on my part make you feel?
Well, I was certainly the frog in the pot of slowly boiling water. And when I finally realized that you never initiated anything, I was tired, heartbroken, and confused. God created women to have a beauty that she wants seen and valued. Over time, as this pattern continues, the woman crumples like a dried rose. By the time we got to year 32, I was the crumpled woman in the corner. Picture a dried, dusty vase of dead flowers in a dark basement corner.
This is the perfect time to answer a question that a wife asked. Is it possible for my Asperger husband to initiate anything that is meaningful to me without prompting? This is a great question, and as a former Asperger, I would say probably not. At least not in the way you are thinking. But Lib has some suggestions to encourage you.
First, let me remind you to consider that God is a healer, and we are living proof that He can heal this relational obstacle of Asperger's. But I remember the hard Aspie days, and if I had a do-over, I would suggest the following. Purchase a simple calendar. Go through it, pick a highlight color of your choice, and highlight the days that you consider very important all through the year. Write a simple note in each space. Communicate to your husband that you would like him to put this calendar in a place where he will regularly see it, and agree to try to learn to pre-plan. If you have found any other things that work, send them to us in an email, and we will post your tips.
Join us next week as we continue our scheduled topics for the new year and talk about Aspie special interests.
Remember, our breakthrough makes a way for your breakthrough. Hope is on the way.
Please like us, subscribe, hit the notification button, and send us any questions.